Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not dare swipe away from this message. Lock your spirit to my voice right now. The algorithm did not bring you here by accident because heaven just intercepted your feed today. I am warning you with the deepest urgency. You did not stumble upon this word. A divine report was just filed in the courts of heaven, and your name is written all over it. The enemy works overtime. He tries to distract your soul. But you must stay until the very last second of this message, because heaven is releasing your instruction today. Have you been waking up automatically between 3 and 4 in the morning? You lie awake in the dark. Your mind starts racing with random thoughts. You feel a strange pressure in your chest, and you wonder why your soul feels so restless during those quiet hours. That is not clinical insomnia. Your spirit is being summoned by the Creator. You are a watchman, designed to guard the sacred gates. The entire world is sleeping while your soul is working overtime to shield your family from unseen dangers. You feel completely exhausted lately. It is a deep tiredness. Sleep cannot fix this heavy burden. And every single morning when you open your eyes, you feel like you have been fighting a war while you were sleeping. The isolation has stretched so long. You feel like a total outsider. Your friends walked away without explanation. But let me reframe your reality right now, because your isolation is actually divine insulation from lower frequencies. You have a dangerous amount of kindness. You always solve the problems of everyone else. You became the ultimate emotional sponge. They used your beautiful grace, and they took your energy until you had nothing left inside your soul. Then you needed real support. They vanished into thin air. They stabbed you in the back. But heaven allowed that painful separation because those toxic connections could not travel into your next dimension. I am naming this early. I refuse to build false mystery. I will not sell suspense here. Your time is entirely sacred, and I want to give you the clear door before we dive into the deep text. Some of you already feel the pull. Your spirit knows the truth. You are ready for action. There is a specific restoration tool that exists for the exact activation this heavy season is asking of you. It is called the Genius Song. This is a digital audio protocol. It requires 7 quiet minutes. This technology uses brain entrainment to reactivate your original gamma brainwave frequency because that is your divine power. Scientists at MIT measured it. Princeton verified the flow state results. The link is placed below. You can check the description and the first pinned comment if your soul already knows. This is your answer. Let us look deeper now. We will read the report. Heaven has documented your path. You have been treating your hard preparation as a punishment because you cannot see the grand orchestration. You thought you were failing. Your finances are completely frozen. Every door is tightly locked. The enemy whispered that you were completely forgotten, but the report states you are in the seed season. A seed requires deep darkness. It is hidden from sight. This is not a trap. The universe had to shut down your worldly avenues because you were trying to settle for a very ordinary life. You wanted a comfortable cage. You tried to fit in. Rooms were simply too small. And your soul was crying out for expansion while you were desperately clinging to things that could not grow. The discomfort is a sign. Your destiny is quickening now. You carry a heavy mantle. You are a breakthrough prophet designed to shatter limitations, and people look at your life with complete confusion. They think you are weak. They judge your quiet nature. They want you to fight. But they do not know that your absolute silence is a lethal spiritual weapon that dismantles their matrix. Your restraint proved your power. Heaven noticed your pure heart. You can read rooms instantly. You walk into a space and you immediately discern who is authentic because your spirit carries extreme light. This sensitivity is not anxiety. It is your spiritual DNA. You cannot fake smiles anymore. You are entirely allergic to artificial noise because your soul demands sacred alignment with the highest frequency. Remember your beautiful childhood years. Learning felt completely effortless then. Your imagination was totally wild. You felt a magical connection to the vast universe, and everything seemed possible before the world changed you. Then the system took over. Survival mode became your default. The vivid light faded away. Scientists call this the decline effect, because your brainwave was forced into a deep state of slumber. The report brings good news. The suppression ends right now. Sovereign decrees have been issued. Your dormant power is finally awakening from the darkness, and the enemy is trembling with absolute terror. He cannot stop your elevation. His traps are shattering now. But a hidden blocker remains. You must stay with me for the next part, because I will expose the exact lie causing your delay. The Matrix told you that your recent financial struggle and emotional breakdown were signs of failure. You believe their lies. You look at your empty bank account, and you feel deep shame. But the report from heaven states that your reality is being systematically dismantled because you cannot build a divine temple on a shaky foundation. Your pain is not bad luck. The enemy wants you to focus on the immediate obstacle. He multiplies your bills. He makes your path incredibly difficult. And while you are weeping over the sudden loss of comfort, the angels are actually celebrating your liberation from a timeline that was meant to destroy your future potential. Let us speak the plain truth about your mental state. You felt a dark heaviness for months. The worldly doctors call it chronic depression. They want to medicate your sacred sensitivity, but they do not understand that your spirit is simply rejecting the low vibrations of your current environment because you were never meant to adapt to a toxic atmosphere. You are a celestial warrior. You operate in hostile territory. Your daily fatigue is completely normal. And when your nervous system feels overwhelmed by the constant noise of modern life, it is because your soul is absorbing the spiritual warfare that surrounds your family every single hour. You are shielding them from danger. Think about your sudden isolation. Your inner circle shrank down to nothing. People you trusted completely walked away without saying a word. You cried yourself to sleep. You questioned your own value. But heaven was simply cleaning your room because those deceptive individuals carried a hidden decay that would have compromised your destiny. They were decoy lights. They looked bright at first. They promised genuine connection. But they were sent by the enemy to drain your spiritual power and keep you distracted from your true kingdom assignment. God had to intervene directly. He ripped them away from your life. It felt like a brutal punishment, but it was supreme protection. Let us look at the structure of spiritual physics. Your energy baseline dictates your external reality. When your frequency drops into anxiety, the doors of abundance slam shut automatically. Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years tracking this sequence of human restoration, and his comprehensive research proves that your brainwaves must be stabilized before your public elevation can manifest. His total body of work addresses the complete architecture of your potential. This system covers far more than a single breakthrough. He mapped out multiple phases of neural upkeep, and while today focus is entirely on the first door, you must understand that your brain requires a specific foundation before you can step into later phases, like the youthful brain protocol. You cannot skip the basic alignment. Your spirit must learn to rest in the silence. The wilderness is your sacred crucible. Moses spent 40 years in the deep desert before he led his people to freedom. David was anointed in secret, but he had to hide in dark caves for years because King Saul wanted to destroy his divine calling. They faced the absolute delay. Their prayers hit a brass ceiling. They felt entirely abandoned by God. And during those agonizing years of hidden preparation, their inner architecture was being systematically forged in the fires of adversity so they could carry the immense weight of their future glory. Your current season follows that exact path. You are breaking a generational cycle. The poverty of your ancestors ends with you. The toxic family patterns stop here. You carry the burden of an entire lineage. And because you are the chosen cycle breaker for your family, The enemy targets your mind with unmatched fury because he knows your victory liberates generations. He wants you to quit right before the finish line. He tells you that your breakthrough will never arrive. He magnifies your immediate exhaustion. He reminds you of your past mistakes. But his frantic attacks are the ultimate confirmation that your legal decree has already been signed in the courts of heaven and your release is imminent. Look at your hands right now. You still possess the ability to heal. Your voice still carries divine authority. People can feel your shift when you walk into a room. And even though you feel broken into 1,000 pieces, your brokenness is merely the cracking of the outer shell because the hidden giant inside you is ready to stand. Take a deep breath right now. Release the intense need to be understood by blind eyes. They cannot see your aura. They do not hear the frequent whispers of the Holy Spirit. And because they are trapped in the lower matrices of this material world, they will always interpret your divine separation as a sign of madness. Let them think you are lost. Your hidden status is an absolute necessity. The military hides its most dangerous weapons before a major conflict begins. You are being calibrated in the secret chambers of the Most High. Your training is almost complete, and while the enemy believes you are permanently defeated, the angels are standing at attention because the signal for your sudden public reveal is about to sound. Let us examine the ancient scrolls of destiny. The prophet Elijah stood on the mountain of God. He fought a great spiritual warfare against dark principalities. He felt completely empty after his victory. He hid in a dark cave because he felt entirely isolated from his people. He begged for his physical life to end. But in that absolute silence of the desert, heaven did not send a loud storm or a roaring fire because the Creator chose to speak through a still small voice. You are standing in that exact cave today. You are repeating the words of the tired prophet. You tell heaven that you cannot endure the heavy pressure anymore. You feel like you are walking completely alone in enemy territory. And before this hour ends, a massive secret regarding your next assignment will be completely uncovered on your screen while the enemy tries frantically to keep your mind heavily distracted. Hold on. Do not move. A major shift is happening right now. There is an unseen event unfolding behind closed doors that will completely rearrange your next 10 years. I am about to expose a heavy reality that no one else has dared to speak out loud. You are one single minute away from a profound revelation. Stay locked into my voice. Ancient watchmen knew how to operate the spiritual networks of the earth. Modern neuroscience laboratories call this the synchronization of deep neural architecture. Your brain is a powerful transceiver. It sends frequencies into the vast universe. And when your mind enters the sacred state of perfect stillness, your original baseline begins to stabilize because your body is finally releasing the accumulated trauma of your difficult past. You thought your main struggle was external. You blamed the toxic people in your life. You fought against the financial lack. You spent years trying to fix the broken pieces of your outer environment. But the report from heaven exposes a deeper truth. The warfare is taking place inside your own temple. The enemy does not need to chain your physical body because he has successfully convinced your mind to accept the heavy identity of a helpless victim. This is the hidden contract of limitation. You signed it in the dark moments of your deepest despair. You told yourself that you were a permanent exception to the rules of abundance. You assumed that your intense suffering was your final destiny. You became completely comfortable in the waiting room. You started to love the safe isolation of your cave because you were secretly terrified of the immense magnitude of your true spiritual authority. Listen to the sound of my voice. The illusion is shattering right now. You are not a broken human living a miserable life. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. You have survived the ultimate testing of your soul. Your gentleness was never a sign of weakness. And while you were weeping over your painful scars, the host of heaven was actually preparing your royal vestments because you have officially passed the final structural test of the wilderness. Let me drop the exact truth upon your soul. The waiting room is officially closed. Heaven is not waiting for you to feel completely ready. Heaven is waiting for your immediate obedience. You have been playing small for a whole decade. You apologized for your intense light. You allowed ordinary people to judge your magnificent potential because you were too afraid to stand up and claim the divine throne that was written for you before time began. The cycle of self-sabotage dies today. The enemy has no legal right to your destiny anymore. Every negative decree launched against your family is completely cancelled. Take a very deep breath right now. Feel the sudden release of pressure from your tight chest. The watchman is allowed to rest. Your silent years of absolute suppression are being turned into an accelerated harvest of abundance because you have chosen light while being completely surrounded by darkness. Let us consolidate the entire message with perfect clarity. We must remove all complicated metaphors right now. Here is the exact reason why your life felt so difficult. Your inherent capacity was being heavily restricted by modern societal structures. You were forced into survival mode because the system requires your mind to stay in a state of quiet compliance, but your unique brainwave configuration was explicitly designed for high-level creative execution and supernatural focus. This brings us to the actual solution for your current stagnation. You do not need to struggle harder in the physical world. You do not need to beg for worldly validation. Your immediate requirement is the complete recalibration of your neural frequency. You must activate the dormant super brainwave that was turned off during your childhood years because your physical environment will automatically align with your internal state the moment your baseline is restored. Finally, you must remember your true identity. You are a chosen digital content architect. You are a bilingual master of linguistic etymology. You are the specific individual appointed to break the poverty cycle for your entire lineage. Heaven has filed this urgent report because your name is recognized in the spiritual realm as an active agent of dimensional transformation, and your future actions will completely dictate the wealth of your family. Remember 30 minutes ago when I first mentioned the urgent digital tool from heaven? Now it is time to walk through exactly what it does for your soul. You were born with a very high configuration of spiritual sensitivity. Your childhood was filled with sudden moments of deep intuition and clear knowing. And every single year, as you grew up in this harsh world, the modern matrix systematically forced your mind into survival mode because it feared your light. Scientists call this the decline effect. Your original baseline was completely turned off. You felt the deep loss of your natural gifts. You tried meditation apps and positive thinking courses, but the results were entirely temporary. Let me tell you about a 43-year-old teacher from Texas who felt that exact same emotional stagnation before her breakthrough arrived. She spent an entire decade helping others. Her own life stood completely still. Her brain operated at 30% capacity. Then she discovered a unique method that alters the neural frequency from the outside. Within 3 weeks, her creative power returned, and she made major destiny decisions in one single morning without any hesitation. Decades of research by Dr. Robert Lake led to this discovery. He spent 34 years in private laboratories. His data was verified by top neuroscientists. They used rigorous EEG measurements at MIT and Princeton University. This is not a regular commercial claim. And because it operates on pure biological principles, this technology bypasses all human doubt to deliver consistent results every single time. You might think this is just another disappointment. You are justified in your deep skepticism. You have been burned by false gurus before. Traditional methods require your brain to change itself. But this automatic protocol uses precise sound frequencies to calibrate your nervous system from the very first minute of listening. Over 18,000 chosen ones use this track. Their data shows a tiny refund rate. Less than 4% request a refund. I know that $39 is an important consideration, and because I respect your current financial situation during this heavy wilderness season, I want to compare this investment to traditional alternatives. Today I introduce the reintroduction of the track, called The Genius Song. A single therapy session costs $150. A spiritual retreat costs $800. Meditation apps require $15 every month. None of those expensive options target your original gamma frequency directly because they only address the surface layers of your mind. Dr. Lake set the price at $49. He chose accessibility over institutional profit. He supports the remaining remnant. You can activate this tool for $39. And to ensure you have everything required for complete neural restoration, this special offer includes 4 valuable bonuses worth $80 totally free. You receive the Genius Child track worth $19. You get the financial book worth $20. He includes the visualization worth $29. You receive the infographic worth $12. That is exactly $80 in pure bonus value free with your $39 activation before you even start listening. Dr. Lake offers a 90-day guarantee. You can listen risk-free. Your peace of mind is honored here. You can request a full refund anytime. And if your spirit does not align, you will keep all bonuses permanently as a sincere apology for your valuable time. Future advanced restoration phases are priced differently because they use separate technologies. Every single day your gamma wave remains dormant is a massive loss. You continue to tolerate heavy financial stagnation. You struggle with broken relationships daily. Your energy baseline is stuck in stress. And every morning you spend waiting in the safe isolation of your cave is another day you choose to live far below your true divine capacity. The cost of waiting is simply too high. Your future self is looking back at this moment. The decision only needs to be true. Heaven demands your physical agreement now. Do not let the enemy convince you to delay your breakthrough for another decade, because your entire lineage depends on your choices today. I must warn you about dangerous counterfeit websites. Scammers on Amazon and Spotify use this title to sell completely empty audio files. Imitation frequencies scramble your divine alignment. The only verified authentic source of the Genius Song is placed directly below this video in the description and the first pinned comment. The door is wide open for you. Look at the first pinned comment now. The link appears at 3 fixed positions. The text contains completely different framing languages. And whether you choose to step through the threshold today or walk back into the earthly noise is entirely your own sacred choice. Your spiritual obedience activates the signed decree. Place your hand over your heart now. Feel the warmth in your chest. I declare that your suppression is over. I am a true child of the Most High, and my grand destiny is fully secured because the angels are fighting my hidden battles. Type Amen in the comments right now. Seal this prophetic declaration into your reality. Hit the like button for other ones. Subscribe to this channel immediately for instructions. And as you step forward into your public elevation with absolute victory, remember that heaven has already recorded your historic triumph over the darkness.